Hello, everyone. Welcome to Off the Charts, episode 96. Before we start off, my name is Dan. I'll be your host. But before we start off, if you like this type of content, please click like and subscribe and tell your friends. So today's episode is going to be just because I got other more important episodes. Not that this one's not important here, but this one is my top 10 hair metal or glam rock albums of all time. So if I was on a cruise and I got stuck, freaking the boat sank, got destroyed by man, I haven't heard that word in a while. Cheers. Are they still around, Isis? Anyway, I'm not going to put this political here. So anyway, let's say I'm on a cruise, boat sinks, I'm stuck on an island with a turntable and 10 albums. Yeah, I guess food. So what are the top 10 albums that I would have with me on that? Just hair metal, though. Not... And I'm not putting, I actually, to give you an example, I had put Alice Cooper Trash, because that, to me, is a hair metal album. But he's not a hair metal guy, so I didn't put that. So those types of albums are not there. This is just a hair metal band with a hair metal album that I absolutely love. So these are in no particular order. I took them from my collection alphabetically. These are in alphabetical order. So anyway. So let's go with pick number one. I got 10 albums here I want to show you guys. So my top 10 albums, my top 10 hair metal / glam rock albums of all time. Okay? Album number one, Autograph, Sign and Please. As much as some people are tired of hearing Turn Up the Radio, I think it's one of those greats. Every time I hear Turn Up the Radio, I friggin' love it, okay? And that guitar solo was just friggin' amazing. Send Her to Me is also great. The whole album, My Girlfriend's Boyfriend Isn't Me, Thrill of Love. You know what? I love this album. And of course, it might not be the top one album of that band. Maybe it is. But you know what? My mood today, if I was going to go and sink somewhere and be stuck on an island, these would be the top 10 albums I want today. So Autograph, Sign and Please would be one of them. Again, no particular order. This is just alphabetical because I was just going through my collection here. Number two, Bon Jovi, Slippery When Wet. As much as we're all tired of hearing of these songs, you know what? This album was part of my youth. Let It Rock, You Give Love a Bad Name, Living on a Prayer. Even the songs we don't know, I actually think these are great here. But yeah, Slippery When Wet. I would put this... I don't love Bon Jovi. Let's call a spade here. I probably can tolerate Up Until New Jersey, and after that, I own nothing, and I probably never will. But this one, I'm gonna, you know what? Let's let, this is a great album. It was part of my youth, and I still think this is a great album here. So Bon Jovi, Slippery When Wet, even Wanted Dead or Alive, I still love that song. Yeah, this is a great album here. So Bon Jovi, Slippery When Wet. What's next? I learned about these guys a little bit late in the game, but when I did learn about them, I friggin' love them after that. Black and Blue, Nasty Nasty. This album kind of gets a bad rap, again, when it's ranked. But Nasty Nasty, I still do the spit part every time I hear the song. I Want It All, I Want It Now. Friggin' love that song. Does She or Doesn't She? Love that song. I'll Be There For You. It's a good... I think it's a cover. But anyway, man, this album just friggin' rocks. Like, I absolutely love this. This is back in when I was real, when the grunge happened, and I was like, I need to get some new albums or new bands or that I don't know of, and I wasn't gonna buy some grunge, so I was going back to bands that I maybe heard the name but haven't heard any music. It's not my fault they weren't showing them on Power Hour at the time. So anyway, Black and Blue is one of those bands that I discovered late in the game, and boy, I'm glad I did find out about these guys because these guys are great. So Black and Blue, Nasty Nasty would be another one here. Cheers again. All right, this one here. As much as I make fun of this band, I'm going to give credit where credit's due. This album is, I friggin' love this album. So, Bullet Boys Freak Show. THC Groove. Like, I don't even know how to describe that song. It's an original. Structure-wise, it's not a typical hair metal song. But hell yeah, Thrill That Kill, Hang On St. Christopher is a pretty decent cover, actually. Talk to Your Daughter is another great cover. Freak Show. The whole album, again, I make fun of these guys often. But you know what? Their first 3 albums are up there with any hair metal, and I dare to someone say the opposite. I friggin' love this album when it came out. I still do. Yeah, huge. That's the name of the song, by the way. It was sort of huge, I guess, at the time, but Huge is a great song off of this album here. So Bullet Boys, Freak Show. I know I make fun of these guys, but as this one goes, I friggin' love this album. I actually prefer it to the first one, the self-titled one. So Bullet Boys, Freak Show. Here's another one. All right. I wish they would release this with the cool looking cover, because this album cover sucks. Dokken, Tooth and Nail. You know what? The black one has the word Dokken and got the 2 hands underneath it. That one was so much better. But you know what? The music on, even though it's not that well, I don't find the production very well. It doesn't sound that great. The songs are fucking there, man. Without Warning, Tooth and Nail, Just Got Lucky. Just Got Lucky. Heartless Heart, Into the Fire, Bullets to Spare, Alone Again, Turn on the Action. I freaking love this album from A to Z here. Dokken, Tooth and Nail. I don't know what's up with this album cover. It's terrible. Like, fucking terrible. But Tooth and Nail is another one of my top 10 albums. Again, learned about these guys late in the game. Like I said, Bullet Boys, I actually was buying it as they were coming out. Dokken was a little bit late in the game. I never thought they were cool or whatever. But there's some great stuff from Dokken. So, obviously, this album is by far my favorite Dokken album here. So, I'm putting Dokken, Tooth and Nail here, again, in my top 10. Next up, oh my god. Again, another one that I came late to the game. Very late, actually, for this one here. Before I talk about it, let's have a... I had a little sore throat, and when I start talking, it's like... Ça pique. Anyway, it itches. There you go. So anyway, late in the game. Kicks. As much as I fucking love Kicks right now, I used to laugh at these guys, but again, it's from being ignorant, I guess. I never saw any videos on the Power Hour. I didn't know anybody that owned any Kicks here in Ottawa. Their album covers don't look like it would be A or even B grade. I just never heard, like, I didn't hear anything. And then I discovered Kicks when, I must have talked about this here before, But when I was downloading videos off of Emule or LimeWire to put them on DVD, like my friend was suggesting videos, I'm like, fuck, these guys are good. Like Kicks is fucking good. And it's one of those bands I'm like, fuck, I wish I would have known about these guys at the time and support them. But again, it was non-existent in Canada. I didn't know any. I know, yes, my friend Steph, the other Steph, not Concert Steffi, had them. Had I known about, or had I known Steph at the time, probably I would have loved these guys. But I've seen the albums. Didn't. I didn't find the covers. I don't know. It makes sense in my head. It's very hard to explain. But anyway, I'm sorry, Kicks. But this album friggin' rocks. Like from A to Z. Midnight Dynamite, Red Hot, Black and Blue, Bang Bang, Balls of Fire, Layin' Rubber, even Cold Showers and odd songs like for hair metal. But frig, I love that song. You know what? Is probably one of my favorite Kicks albums, if not my favorite Kicks album right now. If ever you want, give Kicks a shot. Like, these guys are actually very good. I feel bad for not liking them at the time, but again, it's who you hang out with, what you see on TV. And I'm a little. What year was this? 85. I was 13. No. Yeah, 13. Fuck. Anyway, so I wasn't aware of these types of bands as much. I didn't like much music didn't come. It was a pay channel at the time, and it didn't come free or part of the cable till at least 4 or 5 years later. So I came late into the game with watching videos anyway. So I didn't know about these guys, but anyway, now I do, and I tell everybody if you want a good rockin' band, check out some Kicks. Now this one, I still remember the day that I started, like, it happened in 1991. Came late in the game, but man, did I ever make up for it afterwards. Talking about Rat. I knew of these guys, man, Lay It Down. I saw the video on Power Hour from time to time. But it was that 81, 91 greatest hits, and I bought that, and I was like, but again, back in the 80s, you have to understand, it was just Kiss and maybe Alice Cooper. And I had a few cassettes here and there, but it was just Kiss. Don't bug me about anything else. I don't want to hear about it. So when grunge came, of course, I was like, I fucking hate this crap. Let's get some of those old bands. I'm like, man, what the hell was I doing? Maybe it's my fault that grunge happened and I wasn't buying any of these albums at the time. But anyway, Rat. You're in Love. I've mentioned this on my channel before, but I remember when the 81, 91, that was my song. No, actually, you know what? I saw the video for this, and I was like, fuck, You're in Love is such a good song. I was playing that, like, apparently I was annoying my friend Pascal's sister with it there, so, oh well, sorry. He wanted me to continue. I didn't realize what I was doing, because I love the song so much. I thought, if I love it, everybody else in the world must love it too. Apparently not. Lay It Down. Give It All. You Should Know By Now and Dangerous But Worth the Risk. Those are those two great deep cuts there. But anyway, this album is my favorite Rat album. So, Invasion of Your Privacy. I'm putting this one here again in my top 10. Alright, this one here. I may be a little bit sick and tired of hearing it, but again, this was part of my youth. I'm sure part of everybody's youth. So, Twisted Sister, Stay Hungry. It holds good memories. Remember my mom, when it was my birthday, she says, I'm not buying you some Kiss. You can get any other types of tapes or whatever. So I remember getting Bon Jovi, Slippery When Wet, and Twisted Sister, Stay Hungry. And sure enough, here we go. Still part of my collection. I love this album. It's not a dud on here again. Out of these 10 albums, it's probably the ones I'm a little bit tired of hearing certain songs. I'm not going to tell you which ones because you probably guessed it anyway. But you know what? I remember, like, I don't find that there's a bad song on this album at all. This one and the first two albums are probably Twisted Sister's finest moment when they were rebellious. And then the two albums after that, they got greedy and rich, and they were writing about anything, and they weren't pissed off anymore. Let me put it that way. So anyway, Twisted Sister, Stay Hungry, another one part of my top 10 that I would bring on that island. Mm. Actually, this is not in order properly. Everybody remembers this in high school. Whitesnake, self-titled. Holy crap. If you ever thought about what the hell does Americanize a band's means or sounds like, take early Whitesnake and then take this one, and you'll see exactly the difference sound-wise and sonically. Anyway, but you know what? I still remember Still of the Night took me a while to actually know that this was on this, but that is one of those, it's a song and a half. But I still remember Here I Go Again. That was huge here. I remember we were all paired up in high school, and I remember the girl I was sitting with, she's like, you know that Whitesnake song? Here I Go Again? Yeah. Do you think that girl's pretty in that video? I'm like, yeah. She's pretty hot there, and anyway, she loved that video for some reason there. That's the only conversation I remember from that album. But Here I Go Again, that was huge here. But I think the coup de grace there is Still of the Night. That is one of those epic songs, you know, the ones that I wish I would have written there, you know. It's musically genius. What I don't like about it is the re-recording of old songs just to Americanize them. Because, I mean, it worked for this. It didn't work for the album after that. Anyways, there's a whole bunch of crap I don't like from this album there, like in the back end there, members-wise there. But you know what? This is a great album. Sounds great. Love it. So anyway, Whitesnake, self-titled. This was huge back then also. Not tired of hearing that one. And last one here. One of my bigger bands. I've talked about them in my channel recently, but I didn't put Pull. I don't find that album is very hair metal-ish, but this one definitely is here. And Winger, Sahara, whatever. I talked about that one there. But as Winger, this album goes, I remember when I first heard Headed for Heartbreak on Good Rockin' Tonight, and the next day I went and bought the album on cassette, I think. And I was like, holy crap, this is good. I really love this band. Hadn't heard 17 or Madalena. Like, again, Power Hour. My parents did not want to buy those extra channels, so I was stuck on getting those free weekends, which happened like 2 or 3 times a year. But Power Hour was a huge part of my youth when I got it. So anyway, Winger, their first self-titled album, one of my top bands. I still play this. I love this album here. I love this band. So those are, and there is a few there's a few honorable mentions. I was like, okay, do I put this one? Like Motley Crue, Shout at the Devil. It was like 11, or Extreme 2, Porno Graffiti. Like those ones were like close. I'm like, ah. But I said, I need to put it at 10. So those are the top 10 albums, or top 10 hair metal / glam rock albums. If I was stuck on an island, I guess. If I could survive with that and coconut milk and shrimp, bring it on. So anyway, those are my top 10 hair metal albums here. probably of all time, yeah. As of, the hell's the date today? November 23rd. Well, this is when I'm recording this, so you're probably seeing this November 23rd. November 25th, 2022. Those are my favorite top 10 hair metal albums here. So anyway, that's it for today. We shall see you. Well, first of all, thank you for watching. And again, once again, if you like this type of content, please like and subscribe. Tell your friends. And we shall see you guys next episode. Once again, thank you for watching. It means a lot. Have a good one, guys. Bye-bye.